You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 25th, 2024 meeting of the LaPorte County Regional Sewer and Water District Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, you're going to call the meeting of the LaPorte County Regional Sewer District to order for June 25th, 2024. If we could salute the flag.
Put it between us. Put it between us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
John Carr,
Here.
Marcella, not here. Jerry Jackson,
Here.
Mitch Bishop, Mark Danielson,
Present.
Amanda Laners is not here. We have 4 for a quorum.
Okay. Meeting minutes from previous meeting in May.
So moved.
Second.
We got motion and second to approve the meeting minutes from last month. Any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Next section is public comment. Anyone wishing to speak has 3 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record. Anybody under public comment? Joyce? Who's GJ?
Anyone on the,
Anyone online want to comment?
No comment today. Thank you.
good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. Okay, nobody else under public comment? Moving on to reports. Steve Carter, Claims and Finance.
Good morning. You should have in your packet financials and claims for May. Financials starting with Rolling Prairie, ending balance $234,953.74. For the month, we had collections of $11,195, disbursements of $1,653, interest income $398.29, and a loan payment of $1,830. Of the two, $34,953, $190,173 is in the operation and maintenance fund, $6,800 in the debt service reserve, and $37,980.50 in the bond and interest account. For Hudson Saugony, we had receipts for the month, interest income of $10,117, disbursements of $22,874, ending balance $2,310,792.28. Of that amount, I don't have it in front of me, but there's like $2.15 million in the Hoosier Fund, and the balance is at Horizon. For the toll road, receipts for the month $28,488, disbursements $18,777, interest income $1,914, ending balance all funds $518,952.48. Of that amount, $164,976 is in the Horizon checking account, which represents your operation and maintenance fund, and the balance of $353,976.36 is in the Hoosier Fund, which represents your improvement fund.
We haven't gotten the payment yet from the state for reimbursement. SRFs I sent in yet, have we?
For what? I'm sorry.
The $1,000 repayment.
I haven't seen it, no. And we still have two outstanding checks, since you brought that up, on Rolling Prairie from probably a year and a half ago.
I think I might have them.
Yeah, I don't even know if they went out.
Right.
I just know that I wrote them and,
Okay.
well, I gave them to you.
Let me know.
They may be just blank checks, but
Right,
let
I
me
think
know
they
if I need to void them or whatever. Yep, thank you. Because I keep carrying them as like a $2,000
Okay.
credit or reconciling item.
I think I have 2 at my
Okay,
office.
awesome. So those are financials. If any questions or motions?
No.
Do we need approval for the financials?
So move.
I think we can wait until we're clean.
Okay.
Yeah, claims.
Okay.
All right, sorry.
Claims for your consideration total $40,367.27.
Do we have to add in the SRF payments?
So we also have 2 bond payments. Typically, you can add them to the claims. I don't think it's necessary since they're covered under your previously passed bond ordinance. They're required payments. But we can talk about that later. I think one is $2,840. The other one is $5,225.
Okay.
Do-
Yeah, there's no reason we don't have to give notice. I mean, we can certainly add those to the claims and pay them.
Okay.
Those would be transfers to the Bank of New York, and then Bank of New York as trustee will make the payment on your behalf.
So we will probably need, John, if you
40,
can,
that's five,
since
2,
Marcy's not here, I can add stuff to her to do, whichever. I'll scan it and send it to both of you.
Okay.
But we'll need to do it fairly soon because it's
Okay.
due July 1st.
No problem.
Thank you.
So if we add those 2 in, that would be $48,432.27.
So now we do need a motion to approve the claims.
So move.
I'll second.
We got a motion and a second to approve the claims. Do you have a total?
$48,432.27.
Any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All in favor signify by aye.
I
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Asbury?
Morning, Chris Vogel here with Asbury. First of all, I'd like to apologize that we didn't get the report to you. Tom Asbury has been out of the country, so we'll get that to you as soon as we can. But in the meantime, I want to let you know that sludge was hauled since the last meeting. The compressor at the waste treatment plant was installed, and we did some jetting between the water plant and the lift station, but it wasn't complete. It wasn't, the jetter didn't have a long enough hose and couldn't reach all the way. So I have called another company, D&M out of Michigan City, but they haven't returned my call as far as trying to get it jetted the rest of the way.
keep calling
Any
them.
questions?
Yeah, just keep calling. If you need some help getting a hold of somebody over there, let me know and I'll call.
My understanding is that they're the only ones around that will have a 300 to 500 foot jetter.
What size? Well, is a 1 inch hose too big for this? What size pipe is it?
It's a 6-inch pipe.
Yeah, LaPorte could probably do it, depending on the access.
Okay.
Why don't you call me if you get stuck?
Go ahead.
I say, why don't you call me if you get stuck with not having anybody?
Okay.
Chris, I think that was a week or so you called. Why don't you give them a call again? And then if you don't hear anything, reach out to Jerry.
Okay. All right, I will do it.
Thank you.
Too, don't you?
What's it?
You got their number?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just emailed him or texted Ryan Miller from D&M. Well,
Thank you.
I've dealt a lot with him.
Okay, anything else under Asbury? Chris, you moving on.
Nope.
Nothing more to report for the billings, collections and stuff, more than, and nothing in, besides what's in there.
Okay. Anything on phase 2, Dan?
Yeah, a little bit. As I mentioned last month, PR number 4 was approved by SRF last month. I reached out to B.L. Anderson shortly thereafter and got things rolling on getting that stuff ordered and delivered and scheduled. I believe Jerry received the pumps, the spare pump, or pump. It's only one of them. Some of that equipment's already in hand. The majority of that dollar amount's already here, but they're still working on scheduling a date to come out to actually install the level control and tie the gen set into SCADA and do all that stuff at the 2 stations. They'll do it all in one trip. So once we have that scheduled, we'll notify you guys. So we're all on the same page here. Other than that, I don't have anything else on phase 2.
And they did send an invoice, but I don't think we should approve that until installation's complete and everything's.
They sent 2 invoices, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I think one of them we can approve, which is the one for the pump.
Okay.
I think that one we can move forward with.
Well, it'll have to
But
be
the
next
other, I
month,
mean,
huh?
nothing's been scheduled and done, so we're
Okay.
not gonna do anything with that invoice.
Yeah, and that will be going through the SRF stuff, so.
So when the pump was delivered, no damages, no issues that you know of?
We opened it up, looked at it, and I made
Okay.
copies of the manual. And
I just hate to pay
stored it.
something and then there's a problem.
Yeah, right. It's stored at the Travel Plaza plant, right? Yeah. Along with the grinder.
And it'll still be next month before we present that for approval at this point.
Yep.
Okay.
So, I mean, hopefully they get everything scheduled and installed in the next month and we can present
Approve it all.
everything. Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yep. Okay. Ready to go to Hudson Sauger.
Hudson Saugony, let's hear it.
All right, I don't have a whole lot on design update since last month. We're still trying to get project plans and specs finalized so we can get a permit submittal here in the near future. I've got a little left to wrap up on what we got to do with the plan improvements, but I think the collection system stuff is pretty much ready to roll. So we're looking at getting that wrangled up in the next couple of weeks and getting it to you guys for permit signatures. Also attached to the boardable stuff was a copy of the income survey and the follow-up easement notice. I didn't know if you guys had a chance to read through that stuff and if you have any questions or comments on it.
So the second notice letter went out for property owners that have not returned their easements. So that,
So that's already gone out.
those have already went out. That went out prior to the income study. Those are to the people just on Chapman right now that haven't returned those.
So both of these have already gone out.
This one just went out, like Friday.
Gotcha.
And then the income study one was mailed on Friday. So we're getting, I know it went out because I got a call yesterday, so.
Yeah.
Giving them 4 options on how to respond, so hopefully we should get a good number of responses, making things as convenient as possible.
And I believe that did go out to the entire area, not just Chapman, but we do have it divided out.
That's the basis of the interest rate we eventually get.
Yeah, I think that's the idea behind the income study here is
The more people that are below that,
Correct.
or that median, the annual household.
are we able to see results on SurveyMonkey before everything closes or?
That is not a Jen question,
Okay. That's not a Dan question either.
but we can find that out. I mean, yeah.
That would only be one option. So that won't be all the results.
Right. I just
Right,
didn't know
exactly.
if because that's updated in real time, if we'd be able to see it in real time. Otherwise, I don't really have anything else.
Okay.
Is there a certain percentage you have to receive of the
That,
households?
I don't know. We
Yeah.
just,
Like
we have to,
51%.
yeah, we'll have to get back with them once we get some information
I'm sure
and
it's-
answers.
we get what we can get and present it.
Yeah,
Send it
Sure,
to
it's
them.
something to be statistically significant.
Yeah.
According to the population size.
Right.
But I don't. Okay.
Okay. Any questions for Dan on Hudson Saugony? Okay, can't see anything.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I
I
know.
guess typically the project priority list comes out in usually in the middle of July. It's been pushed back the last few years, but they keep telling us, "Oh, it'll be on time." So by the next meeting, we may see where we land on the PPL and hopefully
On that,
get
and
a
then-
funding commitment ironed out.
We're also waiting to hear on a Ready grant too, right?
Yeah, I can follow up with Ken on that.
That will be a little bit. And then what else?
It should be,
Will be coming?
I was thinking, end of July.
So,
I know that because I was scanning through emails today and I saw the email. It was July 14th of last year when they came out.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's when they're supposed to. Because I think it was a couple years ago. They didn't release it till September or something like that.
Yeah, it usually takes a little bit of time with them.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, thanks.
thanks. Okay, moving on to Executive Committee, Engineering Committee. Nothing.
nope.
Notice of statutory exemption and extension of service letter.
That will go out once we do the IDEM permit and the timeline for exemptions and stuff. That'll all be during that time.
Okay. Moving on to new business. Next meeting, July 23rd. That work out? Should. Okay. The agenda meeting and attendees, July 16th.
It's not till December.
Did you go to that meeting? The next
I
regional?
couldn't go to that meeting. I told everybody I
Oh,
couldn't.
Jerry went. That's
Last
right.
year. Do we need somebody
You
for
went.
tomorrow?
No,
No,
Not tomorrow.
it was last week.
Last
You
week.
did go?
I was there. It was a very entertaining complaint session about locates.
That's what
Sure.
it was last year as well.
Well, did you go to the one in, Napanee?
Napanee. Yeah.
In that
There's
park.
a good cheese shop on the
Yeah.
way.
Is there?
It was in that park building? Whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Probably had good food over there. One good thing.
But the cheese shops, that's crazy.
Hey, regarding the jetting, Ryan Miller got back to me at D&M.
What did
He
you say?
said, okay, just have him call my office. And he gave it his number at his office.
Did you hear that, Chris?
Yeah, Chris.
Call again.
Chris, you on?
Yeah, I heard if you
Okay.
can send me his number.
You got your pen? 872-9378. 219 area code, yeah.
He will eventually call.
872-9378.
Okay, thank you.
He
Great.
said okay, just have him please call me his number.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. TDD district. Okay, that's early discussions that in regards to the transit development district zones. Michigan City has one. The town of Pines is putting one in to help with their sewer project. So it made me think of Hudson Saugony as a possibility. So we're kind of in early talks about that, but there is a possibility of maybe some type of TDD district for Hudson and Saugony that can maybe help with infrastructure improvements.
What's the nature of the district? I'm not familiar.
TDD is a new transit development district along the South Shore. So in LaPorte County, you got it's up to a half-mile radius around the train station in Michigan City, and then along the train stops, they're creating a TDD district for development to help capture for infrastructure improvements. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it runs right through Hudson. That seems, if that's, gives us some opportunity, seems like a good idea.
So once I heard about the Pines, because they don't have a stop, but the train runs through there, and the train runs through Saugony and Hudson. So there is a way to possibly be creative and create.
There is a stop right there in Hudson, right?
Yep.
So is there anything we need to do to,
No, I just wanted to bring it up, make people.
okay. Is-
John, would that be, I mean, I assume that would be something created at either the
RDA.
RDA or and the county commissioners and council would all have to weigh in, right?
So I'm the TDD rep for LaPorte County, so that's I was taking a look at all that, and so I approached the RDA about it.
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
So when or if it's time they need information or presentation or anything, you can let us know?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
wonderful.
Jennifer, do you want to bring up the insurance bill under new business or?
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah, sorry. I forgot.
I got seen tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, this is new business. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, so for some reason, and I'm not sure, Jerry, we got a State Farm renewal policy for $1,232, and location of residence says 508 East Short Street. Anybody know anything about that? I had sent it to Marcy and them and Steve, and we don't recall ever paying
It's an insurance program
State Farm. Yeah.
policy for that particular address?
Best I can.
What's on?
Yeah, it's liability and mostly liability, I think, related.
Station or anything,
We
is there?
don't recall ever paying anything.
You have a pump house or something on that?
On Short Street? I don't think we got anything on Short Street.
Jennifer, was there any,
It's 508 East Short Street.
which is where?
LaPorte?
Rolling.
Rolling. Okay.
Unless there's some.
Do we know if it's even a house that's serviced by, I mean, are they connected?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Hmm.
But it's directed to LaPorte District to that our office.
But there was no correspondence from State Farm or from the homeowner saying, hey, I think you guys should reimburse me because X, Y, Z, or it was just,
No, it's a premium policy.
It literally came in the mail yesterday.
right, but I mean, I would have thought maybe somebody was saying, hey, somehow tying it to our responsibility.
What,
We have a pump station right across the street from it. It's
I can call the agent and see.
What kind of infrastructure we got?
Sure, if it was something for the city that maybe accidentally got switched, but I will call them.
Doesn't seem like we have individual policies on like a pump station. We'd have one policy that
And
covers.
So one policy through Cincinnati, it's not through
so,
And State Farm isn't typically
No, that's.
a commercial industrial kind of carrier.
Right.
Exactly.
so does that show a residence or does that just,
it's a residence.
it's a residence?
Yeah.
Okay.
But a lot
Jeff?
of our lift stations and pumps have addresses of.
The insured party is Jeff and Tiffany G.
Yeah, I would call the agent and go.
Maybe it's just a misbilling.
That's
Could
quite.
be.
Could this be?
That's quite a hiccup.
Okay, clear that up. Anything under old business?
The rate ordinance. We've still got to fill in a few of the blanks, and I might recommend, some kind of Zoom engineering committee where, again, I think it deals with two things. It deals with engineering issues that Jerry can weigh in and maybe financial issues. But I mean, I'm happy to have anybody, as long as we don't violate the whole open door law, get involved. But the substance of it, I think, is pretty good. But we have some carryover numbers from probably both, I think, the prior ordinance and the ordinance that we kind of used as a template for this ordinance. So, and those numbers may ultimately be fine, but I would like somebody who isn't a lawyer, who doesn't know anything about phosphorus and solids to weigh in on it. So what I would recommend is, since we want to get this passed, is we have a first reading today, and all we'd have to do is take a vote to have, basically to carry it over to a second reading and public hearing. So the next, what would they be, the July date would be the public hearing and second reading. And if at that time the board wants to vote unanimously to have the third reading, then we could pass it and it would be done by the end of the next meeting. And we can make amendments. And again, I doubt that there'd be any big substantive amendments, but certainly the numbers would change. And Jennifer, actually, I think it is 2 notices we have to do. I took a quick look at the statute, so
Okay.
no, I mean, we have plenty of time to do
Right,
it, so it's no
exactly.
big deal. But
And
so-
usually 10 days apart or something.
You need
I
a
think.
motion to introduce the ordinance for the first reading?
correct.
So moved.
Second,
We have a motion, a second, to introduce the rate ordinance, first reading. Any questions? Proceed to vote. All in favor signify by word aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
Great, thank you. And so we'll put, we'll have a public hearing at the next meeting, so when we do the agenda, it'll be the public hearing and second reading of this ordinance. And just so the public knows and the board knows, we did not touch the rate ordinance specific, both the sewer and water specific to the toll road. Those are just gonna be on their own little island because they're just completely separate and unique. And honestly, those ordinances were drafted by the state, not by us. So I don't wanna go down the road of getting approval from the state and the concession company that runs the toll plaza. I think it's just too much work. We don't need to.
Okay.
And then,
Organize a meeting here in the meanwhile to talk about the.
yeah, I was just gonna say that. Do you guys want to do a Zoom meeting? You want in person? I know usually it's Zoom is much easier for everyone to.
I think that's fine.
Fine with me.
Okay,
But-
so
But if I remember, Barry was saying there's, you wanna have just couple people.
Well,
Right, we
you could
can't
never
have
have more
more.
than 3 board
Hey,
members.
that's what I'm trying to find out who's gonna be there.
Yeah.
We don't have 3 or 4.
Well, it will be the engineering committee, so,
Which is,
Good.
which is Jerry, Mitch, and,
I've been on it.
John,
Yeah.
I think, and then you and Marcella are alternates.
Okay.
So I will get that set and we'll have Barry. Steve, do you want on that?
he might,
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Yeah,
more
just for
useful
this,
than I
just
am.
for this call.
Other than I
Okay.
can guide you to the, I
And
can
then
guide,
probably-
all I do is guide you to the sections I can.
Dan, I'll have you and Steve on it too.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna get that set up in the next week, I think, if that works with everyone's schedules. I'll send out an invite.
Can't have more than 3, or you can up.
We can't have more than 3.
You can have 3 because that's less than a quorum.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, next. Oh, sorry.
Interlocal.
Yeah, that, we haven't done anything with regard to that. Guy and I are playing phone tag. I owe him a call. He called me sometime last evening and I was tied up. So, I mean, I just want to find out generally what he's thinking, but I don't want to put a lot of time and spend a lot of the district's money until we know we're getting the money from the state, because this money is contingent on getting the money from the state. So while it'd be great, and I'm going to see if Guy has a form of agreement so that I can kind of figure out what kind of interlocal agreement he's thinking of, because I just was thinking it would be much simpler than that, where they basically transfer money after we get our word from the state, but maybe I'm missing something. So I'll follow up with Guy this week.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Maybe we should have a golf outing to raise money for the sewer project.
John's gonna organize that?
My back's not right there.
I got a meeting with Microsoft this afternoon. I could ask them for money.
There you go.
When they breaking down there? You know?
No, I don't know. Might find out today.
Yesterday.
Okay. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
A motion second to adjourn. Any questions? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned. 9:28 p.m.